Hi everyone, I am George Schlacek,
the one and only.
And this is Bicycle Touring Talk edition number 74. Riding my bicycle across Canada had been a dream of mine for many years. When you dream of something for years, there needs to be a push to turn it into reality, or you risk regret, missed opportunities, and the nagging thoughts of what could have been. 2017 was the year for me. Well, it marked 30 years in Canada and also Canada's 150th anniversary. As you probably know, I had left Edmonton in mid-May for the Pacific coast and then cycled all the way back from there. Last episode I told you about a surprise when I got home. A tree in the backyard had been hit by a storm and caused some real damage. It also meant that real work had to be done. Of course, work of that kind is often more extensive than first meets the eye. I had to rent a chainsaw to get rid of the branches that had fallen off the tree. The old shed that was eventually supposed to get replaced now needed fixing, just so its content wouldn't be exposed to the rain. The yard needed some maintenance. Besides all that, my bike needed some maintenance too. Thanks to amazing neighbors, I had some help, but it still took the better part of the week just to get this work done. I didn't catch a break at all. Quite the opposite. This was a week of getting up early and going to bed late, and the work was tough. How was this going to continue? Realistically, I would need a week's rest. But this wasn't really an option either. The ride to the Atlantic would take the better part of 2 months, even if everything went smoothly. Don't we all know it though? Things never really go 100% smoothly. When Friday came around, the yard looked a lot better. The shed was reinforced, even if far from perfect, and my bike was good to go. There was more work to do, but it wasn't really that urgent. Our next door neighbors had offered to keep an eye on our grass to keep it from growing out of control. What to do? Saturday morning came and I got up late. I had to pack all over again and my laundry wasn't done. I had to get some supplies, food, fuel for my stove, that sort of stuff. Then there was my armchair and the internet. Well, I literally had to force myself to leave the house. Edmonton is fantastic in the summer and this was a beautiful day. Barbara would be back home within a couple of weeks and we could spend an awesome summer together. It would have been way cheaper too because I'd probably ended up with a few contracts. I left the house late in the afternoon with all that on my mind. You know, it's Saturday afternoon, it's probably 5:30 or something, but I decided to leave the house anyways, because it's actually pretty hard. It's really nice in Edmonton, especially when the weather is good. But the house is lonely right now, so I'm better off to resume my tour, make it to Newfoundland, and here I go. This was way harder than the first time around when I had flown to BC. I had no idea where I was going to end up that night. Thankfully, June means very long daylight hours in Alberta. This is bigger than I am. This is Canada. This is 150 years Canada. I want to go from coast to coast and I've made a good start. I made it from the Pacific to Edmonton. And now Edmonton, bye-bye. I'll miss you. Be back in September, hopefully. Fort Saskatchewan wasn't too far. I made it to Lamont that day, just about 65 kilometers away, where I found a great place to stealth camp. My tent was hidden well enough, and there were even some picnic tables. I think this place is used by the Lamont agricultural branch, but only occasionally for events. I slept really well that night. The next morning was Sunday. I was up early. The biggest burden, having to leave home, was now past me. I was looking ahead again at thousands of kilometers of riding.
Well, I'm near Lamont. I rode here last night and I camped not far from this spot here. Yeah, and now the weather doesn't seem to know what it's supposed to do with me here. There are some really nasty clouds all around the area. But so far, I stayed dry. There's a few drops on my bike, but I'm hoping that this isn't gonna hit me. This might just have the potential to be a total soaker, or it may just disappear altogether, and that's something like 6:15, 6:20 in the morning. And I got all day, but right here I got no shelter, so I'm hoping. I don't want to ride to Lamont, I just want to go down the road.
Physically, I was tired. You can see in the footage that my bottom lip was cracked, and that was actually quite painful. It would heal, then crack again the minute I ate something or tried to smile. But the beauty of bicycle touring is that you can do it at any pace you like. I had a good ride that day, even though the weather didn't look that great at first.
So I've decided to consult the cows on the weather, and they're all running from me. Look at it's behind me. It's really nice, and it's in front of me where it looks like it's gonna rain. And these cows are just looking at me, and yeah, no, they're not sitting down, so maybe it's not gonna rain anymore.
I didn't really get wet, and gradually it turned into a beautiful sunny day. Lunch was just outside of Two Hills.
So it's lunchtime. I'm just outside of Two Hills, Alberta, and I found this roadside memorial park. It is dedicated to all fallen motorcyclists. Now, it says out there, all riders welcome always. I'm a rider. My bike doesn't have a motor. I hope they don't mind, because I took this place over for now. Cooking my meal here and enjoying my sandwich, and later on I gotta go into town, see where there's a grocery store, see where there's a tap so I can fill up my water, because what I noticed on the map is that there aren't a lot of places between here and the Saskatchewan border. You know, and I'll probably get to Saskatchewan by sometime tomorrow, we'll see. That's a good ride today. Started out a bit, on the edge. I had a few sprinkles. And then, it seemed like I was actually riding into the rain. But then at some point it just was way ahead of me, and now I got a fairly sunny day. It's beautiful. Awesome.
Afterwards, I rode into town to get some more groceries and replenish my water. Well, Two Hills is a very small town.
Hello there. Is there a grocery store here?
No, just a food store. Right over there.
I just stocked up on some groceries and some water. Water is really important. Don't know when I'll get more.
The ride continued with another stop in Murnum, where I had just a snack at a convenience store. By the time I got to Derwent, I was wondering about camping again. Where could I camp? Most of the farmland at the side of the highway was fenced in. Some places seemed just not suitable as they would leave me out in the open. A look around Derwent revealed that I wasn't going to be hidden from view anywhere around there neither. Then I came across a decommissioned campground. Was this fair game? Who cared anyways? At first I considered setting up my tent in the tall grass, but it was a bit too overgrown. Hey, I had a dome tent now, so why not set up right inside the cook shelter? That was a good move. At one point, a car pulled in after dark. It had me wondering if anyone would bother me and what they might be up to, but they left after a short while. Someone probably just had to go pee in the bush on a long car ride or something like that. Another good night's sleep. It feels good to sleep outdoors. I really think the fresh air makes for a quality rest. That's what it felt like Monday morning.
It's Monday morning at about 7 o'clock. I'm almost ready to go. I just thought I'd show you where I slept. This is an old campground. There's nothing marked or anything, but you know what? It was quiet. Had a good night here, and I set up right in the what seems to be the cooking shelter. See, there's an oven here and picnic table, and hey, how much more can you ask for free?
A look at the map revealed that I wasn't very far from the Saskatchewan border. The last stop before that was in Marwayne, another sleepy little village where I got the groceries for the next day and a half or so. There was even a piece of Trans-Canada Trail outside of Marwayne. But by now, I knew not to expect anything from that. I was going by the same road map now as the motorized traffic. Unfortunately, with the loaded bike, the highway shoulders were the only real pathway for me. In Alberta, they're relatively good. Now I was crossing into the province of Saskatchewan. It really meant a huge step. The magnetism of home was no longer affecting me. My curiosity about the road ahead was completely restored. What lay ahead in Saskatchewan?
So here we go, another big step on my tour. I actually just left the province of Alberta and I'm in Saskatchewan. You can see the sign here, Saskatchewan naturally. So I don't know how many kilometers I did in total. I'm going to check it here. Calories, blah, blah, blah. Total distance, 2,542. I believe that makes it about 820 some through Alberta. Of course, it's not normally that long. I took the detour through Edmonton. It took me more than a week because I had to stop at home for 4 days to clean up the yard, and now I'm back on track here. Feels good.
I will post a video about that next week. Hopefully you can find the time to watch it. Are you subscribed with notifications enabled? Why not do it now? If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button too while you're at it. All the videos about this tour are in the playlist on the screen right now. So I'll see you soon.